So when you start working in Switzerland as a cross-border worker with a G permit, you need to choose between two systems. The Swiss system LAMal, which stands for Loi sur l'assurance maladie, or the French system, which is officially called PUMA, P-U-M-A, Protection Universelle Maladie, but most people still call it CMU, Couverture Maladie Universelle. So this choice is called droit d'option. It's the right to choose. After starting your Swiss job, you have 3 months to choose your health insurance. And if you do not choose, then Switzerland decides for you. And you are automatically assigned to LAMal. And this is not something you should leave to chance. Late registration of your insurance can lead to penalties. Even if you choose LAMal, you still have to complete the official form yourself. So after you have chosen your health insurance, the choice that you have made is irreversible in most cases. Once you have chosen, you are locked in for as long as you are a cross-border worker. There are a few rare situations where you can reopen the right to choose. For example, if you move to Switzerland or when you have certain periods of unemployment. But these are just exceptions and they're not really strategies you should rely on to reopen the right to choose, Okay, so let's start with LAMal, the Swiss system. Switzerland has one of the best healthcare systems in the world. With LAMal, you benefit from fast access to doctors, you have high-quality hospitals, and advanced medical care. And importantly, you can still receive care in France through coordination systems like the S1 form. But there are key differences that you need to understand. In Switzerland, everyone is insured individually. The adults pay their own premiums and the children are also insured separately. This is very different from France, where dependents are all covered under one family system. With LAMal, it's a simple one way. You pay a fixed monthly premium regardless of your income. Whether you earn 3,000 Swiss francs per month or 30,000 Swiss francs per month, you pay the same rate. In 2026, for cross-border workers living in France, the cheapest insurer starts at around 200 Swiss francs a month, and the most expensive can reach over 750 Swiss francs. So you can have a difference between insurance that can be over 600 Swiss francs a month for identical basic coverage. So shopping around for your insurance is not optional, it's essential. And one thing worth flagging now is that a major reform is coming in 2028 that is expected to push these premiums significantly higher. So the numbers you see today won't stay like this very long, depending on your insurer. Now, there are 2 concepts that are really important to understand before you choose. First is the deductible, which is called franchise in French. This is what you pay out of pocket before your insurance starts reimbursing you for your medical expenses. So the second thing is the co-payment. Once you have paid your deductible, you still pay 10% of your healthcare costs. For example, if you have a medical consultation costing 200 Swiss francs and your deductible is used up, you will pay 20 Swiss francs out of pocket. So don't just compare premiums, look at the total costs. One real example worth knowing if you're planning to start a family. The good news first. Under LAMal, from the 13th week of pregnancy until 8 weeks after birth, you pay no deductible and no co-payment for maternity care. That protection is built into the system. But if you want to give birth in a private clinic in Switzerland, LAMal alone is not enough. You would need a complementary insurance, which ideally should be taken out well before you get pregnant. Most complementary insurances have a waiting period of 9 to 12 months before maternity benefits apply. So this is something that you need to plan ahead. Without complementary insurance, you can only give birth at the cantonal hospital. Without the ability to choose your own doctor, and the prices can significantly vary. A birth in a private clinic in Switzerland can be from 11,000 Swiss francs and more. So a complementary insurance can cover most of these costs. Okay, now PUMA, which is still often called CMU, so that's what we call it, CMU. So with CMU, the logic is completely different. You don't pay a fixed premium. You pay a premium depending on your salary, on your income. So here is exactly how it works. The calculation uses your reference taxable income, called the RFR, Revenu Fiscal de Référence in France. This includes your Swiss salary, rental income, investment income, everything you declare in France. So the starting point is something called the PASS, P-A-S-S, the Plafond Annuel de la Sécurité Sociale. So for 2026, that is 48,060 euros. You take 25% of that, which gives you 12,015 euros. This is your tax-free allowance. Below this threshold, you pay nothing. Then you subtract that allowance from your taxable income and apply 8%. That gives you your annual CMU contribution. But under the French system, healthcare is typically reimbursed at around 60 to 70% of the official rates, which means there is often a remaining portion to pay. That's why most people choose to take out a complementary insurance, a mutuelle. It's not legally required, but in practice, it becomes almost essential to reduce out-of-pocket costs. A mutuelle for a CMU Frontalier typically costs between 40 and 120 euros per month, depending on the level of coverage. That adds between 480 and around 1,400 euros per year. And here is something many people don't realize. If you are insured under CMU and you receive care in Switzerland outside of an emergency, you are reimbursed based on French rates. If you and your partner both work for Swiss employers, you can each make your own choice independently, but your children cannot be split between systems. They would follow one parent. In practice, they are often attached to the parent under the French system because it's simpler administratively. So they say. Okay, so choosing your insurance is one thing, but actually finding a doctor is a completely different conversation. In Switzerland, you get fast appointments and specialists are available quickly. In France, there are longer waiting times and real medical shortages, especially in border areas. My own doctor is in Switzerland. I tried finding a doctor in France, but it just did not work out. And so I decided to stick with my doctor who I have seen for over 10 years. My kid's pediatrician is also in Switzerland because where I live, there's no one available. All this to say, if you need regular medical follow-up, it's worth to consider. In 2026, your choice depends on 4 things: your income, your family situation, your healthcare needs, and your future plans. Your income, because CMU gets more expensive the more you earn. Your family situation, because children and a non-working partner can change the numbers significantly. Your healthcare needs, because if you need quick access to specialists, LAMal gives you 2 countries to work with. And your future plans. If you expect your salary to grow, CMU will grow with it. So there is no really universal answer. LAMal and CMU can both be the right choice, depending on your situation. So two people living in the same town, both working, for example, in Canton de Vaud, completely different systems. That's cross-border life. So the real question is not which system is better, it's which system applies to you and whether you've genuinely run the numbers for your own specific situation. I have worked in Switzerland for almost 20 years and I have never had Swiss medical insurance. Don't worry, I'm not breaking any laws, but if you would like a video about that, please let me know down below.